Have you ever felt like you're just stuck? Like there's this invisible wall between you and your goals? Primera Abi. For years, I had this dream of running a marathon. It sounded incredible. This ultimate test of endurance. But every time I tried to start training, life would get in the way. I'd miss a run, then another. And before I knew it, my running shoes were just gathering dust in the closet. The dream felt more like a fantasy. My biggest enemy wasn't the distance. It was a little voice in my head that said, "You can do it tomorrow," or "You're too tired today." One evening, after another failed attempt to start, I was scrolling online and stumbled upon a story about a former Navy SEAL. He talked about something he called the 40% rule. The idea is simple but powerful. When your mind is telling you that you're done, that you're completely exhausted, you're really only at 40% of your true capability. That hit me hard. I realized I wasn't failing because I was weak. I was failing because I was listening to that 40% voice. I was quitting long before my body actually needed to. So I decided to try an experiment. The next morning, the alarm went off at 5 a.m. It was dark, it was cold, and every fiber of my being wanted to hit snooze. But this time I thought about the 40% rule. Primera told myself this feeling of wanting to stay in bed. This is just my mind's first attempt to quit. I'm not even close to my limit. I forced myself out of bed, put on my gear, and stepped outside. That first run was awful. My lungs burned, my legs had shed, and that voice was screaming at me to stop and walk home. But every time it did, I just pictured that 40% number. This isn't my limit, I'd repeat. This is just a feeling. And I kept going, one painful step at a time. This became my new routine. It wasn't about motivation anymore. Motivation is fickle. It comes and goes. This was about discipline. Discipline is showing up whether you feel like it or not. It's about making a promise to yourself and keeping it. I started applying this mindset to other areas of my life too. That project at work I'd been putting off, I broke it down into small, manageable steps and just started ignoring the feeling of being overwhelmed. Eating healthier. I prepped my meals for the week, removing the daily temptation to order takeout. The secret wasn't some grand gesture. It was the accumulation of hundreds of small victories against that voice of comfort and ease. Each time I chose the hard thing, I was building my mental toughness. Slowly but surely, things began to change. My runs got longer. I started feeling stronger, not just physically, but mentally. The voice telling me to quit got quieter, and a new voice started to emerge, one that was confident and resilient. It was the voice of someone who knew they could push through discomfort. It wasn't about being a superhero. It was about understanding that discomfort is the price of growth. If you're always comfortable, you're not growing. 6 months later, I found myself standing at the starting line of that marathon. I was nervous, but I was also calm. I knew I had done the work. The race was grueling, especially the last few miles. My body was screaming, and the old voice of doubt tried to make a comeback. But I was ready for it. I thought back to all those cold mornings, all those times I pushed through the pain when no one was watching. This was just one more push. Crossing that finish line wasn't just about finishing a race. It was about proving to myself that I could overcome that voice in my head. The journey taught me that mental toughness isn't something you're born with. It's a skill you build, one disciplined choice at a time. It starts with recognizing that your feelings of exhaustion and doubt are often just signals, not stop signs. So, the next time you feel like giving up, ask yourself, am I truly at my limit, or am I just at 40%? Challenge that voice. The person you're capable of becoming is waiting on the other side of that discomfort. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories to help you unlock your potential.